All right, so are we okay to get going now?
Yes, we are. So I'm going to allow Deborah Mastroianni to speak.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good
You hear
morning.
me? Okay. John and I are here. I don't know if you can see us. We can see the five of you, but do you want to speak?
Well, we have two vehicles that mean a lot to us, and but they're not frequently driven, and we were looking to get some
A discount on the taxes. They're both, one is a Fiat Spider, which is a 1980 car. And we paid almost $300 in taxes on that car. The second one is a Mercedes 1973, and we paid $252 on taxes. And so we're here this morning to see if we could get a reduction in the taxes on those two cars.
All right, this is John Parfit. I am the chairman of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to read a couple of introductions before we go on further, just so that, because we are being recorded. So if you'll just be patient for a minute.
Sure.
Get this out of the way. All right, now, this meeting is to take place in a webinar format through Zoom. I am the chairman of the BAA, John Parfit Jr. I can be known as the chairman because we have another member named John, and it's to eliminate confusion. The members that are in attendance are
He's having a problem with his audio.
Yeah, we lost Jim's audio again.
speaking.
Now,
There you go.
Attendees are the appellants. No public speaking other than the appellants are scheduled for the appeal appointments with the board. It is being broadcast live via Groton Municipal TV, GMTV. Let's see. And to make a motion or second a motion, BAA members should speak into the phone or computer microphone. All right, now that's all the official stuff. I'm going to do the hearing introduction for you. And I do this in front of every appellant. Your hearing will be with the Board of Assessment Appeals. Board members are volunteers appointed by the Town Council and are residents and taxpayers of the Town of Groton. This hearing is your opportunity to state your case about why you disagree with the valuation established by the Assessor's Office. Any evidence or exhibits you submit will become part of the permanent record. You will be notified in writing of the board's decision. If you disagree with the decision of the board, you do have the right to file an appeal with Superior Court. All right, with that being said, go ahead and continue on with whichever vehicle you want to start first.
Okay. 1980 Fiat Spider. So, you know, I think I was told at the town hall that if a car is over 25 years old, we could request a reduction in taxes. Is that correct?
It's over 20 years, and it's a reduction in the assessment, not actually the taxes, because we don't deal with the money part of it, just in the value. And there is a form that you can come into town hall to fill out for anything over 20 years to have it permanently changed as into a classic status, and then the value will be set, and you don't have to come in again.
I believe I did that for the future, correct? It's a form that will change the assessment for future.
Okay, you did it on both vehicles?
I believe so, yes. But I'm here, if my memory serves me correctly, because this was a couple months ago when I paid the taxes, that we could attend this meeting and perhaps request a reduction for the taxes we've already paid. Am I
Gotcha.
correct or not? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure we filled out the form going forward.
All right, Mary, is that the case? Have the,
I could run out front and check. Hold on a minute.
okay, if you hold on one second,
Sure.
check on that. But does anybody else have any discussion or further questions?
Well, that form would not be retroactive, correct? That would be
Right.
going forward.
Going forward.
Correct. That's what I believe, yeah. It's for the future. But I was under the assumption that we could get a rebate or something on the taxes we paid in July.
Yeah, we
When-
do have two affidavits dated July 2nd, one for each car for the antique car assessment.
And that takes, when is the date that takes place for, Mary?
Well, we would use it moving forward, but
Moving
you have an
forward.
opportunity to do something for the 20 grand list. We just don't have that opportunity.
Right, okay, just wanted to clarify. All right, the 1980 Fiat Spider. Does anybody else have any questions or?
Is there anything special that we should know about that car as far as its condition?
No, it was a car that I purchased and restored. Nothing outstanding. It's just a car that we use not frequently at all.
Just a summer car. I don't know how many miles a year we.
Yeah, I doubt if we put 300 miles on the car a year.
What about the Mercedes?
The Mercedes was my mom's car, and I purchased that for my father. And so that's kind of special to us. And the same with that. That's we use that very infrequently. And again, I say I'd be surprised if we put 300 miles on that car a year.
All right, so it is not your main source of transportation then?
Not at all. Not at all.
Either one
No.
of them.
Neither one. Nope.
Your main source of transportation, are those other cars that you have registered here in Connecticut?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, if nobody has any questions, would somebody like to make a motion for what they feel we should do with the Fiat? So we can choose not to do anything, or we could either bring it down to the value that would be for next year, or we could do something in between.
John, refresh my memory regarding the plastic status, so that reduces it to a assessed value of
50, I think.
1,500,
500, I believe.
500? Thought it was 5.
Says value of 500. Well, I will go ahead and make a motion of reducing it to the assessed value of 500 based on the fact that they have already submitted the paperwork for next year, and we're just going to make it in line with that figure for next year. Do we have a second?
Second.
And that's Don.
Jim,
Oh, Jim, I'm sorry. All right, is there any other discussion?
You want to
Okay.
consider like some kind of proration based on the fiscal, the grand list in the fiscal year. They filed in July. It's for the grand list of October 1st of last year. As you look at the full value on the Fiat is 15,000. We have it with an NADA 16.7. Assessed value is 10.7. That's quite a precipitous drop to 500, but I don't know if anybody else is.
All right, because the state statute says it has to be 20 years or more, right, in age? So effectively, if you're looking at the 20 grand list, that car was not 20 years old at that time?
The Fiat?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Oh, I'm
Fiat.
sorry. Yes, it was. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's in
I'm sorry.
1980.
I was thinking 2000. I'm sorry.
No, no, that was well, it's 20 years.
motion on the table, John.
Repeat
Come on.
yourself, Jim?
I say there's a motion on the table.
Yes. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of reducing the Fiat to the assessed value of 500, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, the motion for assessed value of 500 passes. All right, and shall we go on to the next one, which is the Mercedes 1973?
Correct.
All right, and I think this sort of falls into the same situation as the Fiat. Does anybody have any feelings on how we want to proceed with this? To make a motion to reduce the assessment or any other conversation at the moment? All right, hearing nothing, I'll make a motion to reduce this one to the assessed value of 500 due to the fact that they have the paperwork in already on the vehicle for the next year. Do I have a second?
Second.
That's Jim?
Jim,
Or Doug?
how's Jim?
Jim, okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Don Marchand, are you voting?
I'm abstaining on this one.
Oh, for both of them?
Yeah.
All right, we have, let's see, the other two members, have they voted yay, nay, or abstention? It wasn't clear.
Aye.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion of that passes with one abstention. Okay, let me slow down here. All right, then. So you, for the Mastroianni's, sorry if I messed up the name, you will be receiving notification from the assessor within 7 days, and you can then take that decision to the assessor, I'm sorry, to the tax collector, and the tax office will process it, and you'll be probably receiving a refund in the mail at one point in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Are we finished?
Yes, we're
Okay.
we're good here.
Thank you
unless
so
we have-
much for your time this morning.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
You're
bye-bye.
welcome.
Bye now.
I know.
Bye.
All right, our next appellant is Wayne Atkins. Is he here yet?
Yes, he is. Wayne, you want to unmute your phone, please?
All right, Mr. Atkins, are you here?
His phone is muted. Let's see if I can unmute him. Let me promote him to panelist and see if that helps. No. This is him. Hold on.
When in doubt, use the phone. This Zoom thing
Fall
Zoom-
back.
be complicated. Say, John, did you, when you came in and, this is Piacenza, when you came
Yeah.
in and looked over the NAD books, did you
All right, I can hear.
refer to the mileage adjustments and all that?
I didn't get.
Jim, hold on a sec. Wayne, say something.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll let you go.
All right, thanks.
They can hear you.
All right,
Sorry, Jim.
No, I would just, there was a question for John, just because he had a chance to look over the NAD books for these appellants, and I was curious if he looked over or was aware of how the mileage adjustments were calculated. I
I'm
know,
aware of it, but I didn't have time to go through that. I just did the
That's
look,
the-
yeah, you find the vehicle and the model and the year.
that's- okay, so we have all the information.
Would
Yeah.
have, I mean, when we ask people about specifically their specific vehicle, whether there's some damage or rust or whatever, or high mileage, that's usually when it would come up, and then we would look at the mileage charts and all that, but I didn't have a chance to do that when I went in.
Okay, thank you.
all right, Mr. Atkins.
Yes.
All right, this is John Parfit. I am the chairman of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to be referred to as the chairman because we have another member named John to eliminate confusion. So I'm going to read you a little introduction, and then it'll be on to you to tell us all about your vehicle. Now, your hearing will be with the Board of Assessment Appeals. Board members are volunteers appointed by the town council and are residents and taxpayers in the town of Groton. This hearing is your opportunity to state your case about why you disagree with the valuation established by the assessor's office. Any evidence or exhibits you submit will become part of the permanent record. You will be notified in writing of the board's decision. If you disagree with the decision of this board, you have the right to file an appeal with Superior Court. That being said, tell us about your 2003 Chevy Cavalier.
Yes, sir. It's getting high mileage, 176,000. It's had a couple accidents, so there's body damage and a little bit of rust. It's needing a few minor repairs, exhaust, and other than that, the windshield is cracked. It's in rough shape, but it still runs. It's,
Enough to get you to work then, basically.
yes, sir. Yeah. It's on its way out, but it still runs.
All right, if you were to go and see this at somebody's house or somebody's car lot, would you pay what looks like to me a full value of, from the NADA book, of a little over 2,000? Is that something you would pay right off the cuff on it?
No, not at all. There's too much body damage, front end, side doors, various dents and scratches. Yeah, it's been assessed at $500 for the last couple of years when I brought it down in person, and it's only gotten worse, not improved at all.
All right, does any of the other members have any other questions on it?
Wayne, we've actually seen this car in the past?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
At least 2 times.
All right, I see the problem is the state sends down what the state thinks it needs to be done at, so we have to go here and make all the readjustments as necessary, even if you've been here, like we've had a couple of other people every year for like the last 10 years, it seems. So we had it assessed at 500 last year.
Yes, sir.
That was full value.
Yes.
Assessed or full value?
I don't have that
Full
paperwork.
value assessment. I don't.
Let me check for you guys.
Okay.
Wayne, we assessment 70% of full value, so that's what we base the taxes on, the assessed value.
So in the past, you've reduced the assessment to $500.
Okay. Well, I move that we reduce the assessment of this vehicle to $500.
I'll second it.
Hold on one second. All right, we have a motion and a second to reduce it to the past assessment of $500, or the past, was that full value?
Assessed value.
That's value.
Assessed value to
That's right.
$500. Do we have any other comments? All right, we have a motion on the floor for the reduction. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? Abstained? Motion passes to reduce the assessment to $500.
Wayne,
Okay.
just one comment I'd like to make. If you have a cracked windshield, that's generally covered under your insurance at no cost to you. And you might like to look into that because it's those things can be dangerous.
Yes, sir. I don't have glass coverage currently on my policy, but
Okay, that
that
was
has to be replaced.
that's the answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, so Mr. Atkins, you will be receiving a notice from the assessor within the next week or so, and you can take that down to the tax office, and if you've already paid your taxes, they'll process it and send you a refund at one point in time, but you'll get all them
All right.
details from them. So, anything else?
All right. Thank you. No,
Okay,
sir,
thank
thanks.
you for coming.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too.
Mary, a point of clarification for officially, doesn't the refund just come automatically? I think John's kind of been hinting that we have to go, these appellants have to go to the tax window and do it that way. Doesn't it just come basically in the mail?
It does. Once we post the certificate of change, it triggers the refund and the tax office goes through their normal process of issuing a refund.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so I'll refrain from that. All right, is our next appellant here?
Yeah, excuse me, I'll be right there.
Okay, I'm all set.
Actually,
You're
your
all set.
next appellant is not here. That would be John Acalavalos.
You're all set, Wayne.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Is there anybody else waiting?
There is Jamie Lee looks to be waiting. Let me just make sure I don't have any phone calls from. Nope, I do not appear to.
All right.
So yes, Jamie Lee is online.
All right. Give me a moment, please. We'll go ahead and take care of her as long as she's here. And if Mr. Acavolos comes in, we will take care of him.
Hi, this is Jamie. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, should I go ahead?
Not yet, please. I'm sorting a couple of things of paperwork and then I'll be right with you. All right, and this is Jamie Lee, correct?
Yes.
All right, my name is John Parfit. I am the chairman of the Board of Assessment Appeals. You can refer to me as the chairman only because we have another member whose name is John, so that eliminates confusion. I'm going to read you a quick introduction and then we'll be off to you telling us all about your vehicles. All right, your hearing will be with the Board of Assessment Appeals. Board members are volunteers appointed by the town council and are residents and taxpayers in the town of Groton. This hearing is your opportunity to state your case about why you disagree with the valuation established by the assessor's office. Any evidence or exhibits you submit will become part of the permanent record. You will be notified in writing of the board's decision. If you disagree with the decision of the board, you have the right to file an appeal with Superior Court. All right, that being said, you have two vehicles, 2012 Mercedes, is that Mercedes? And 2010 Mercedes.
That is
All right, so
correct.
which vehicle would you like to start with?
Okay. Thank you, Chairman and Board. Like you said, I have two Mercedes. One is a 2010 C-Class and the other one is a 2012 GL450. Both of them, which I have the certificate of title, are a salvage rebuilt. The C-Class, I did get a appraisal from Carriage House of New London in the amount of $2,800, which I can, bring in that. And also I can bring in the certificate of title showing that these are both rebuilt salvage vehicles, which appraise at a lesser value than what has been recorded. So I'm just asking that they get, pretty much they're almost half of what their value is, and would like to request a reduction in taxes already paid, which were paid in July, and then going forward as well.
All right, and it's the same on both of them. They're both salvage.
Correct. Both rebuilt salvage. The C-Class is a flood rebuilt salvage. The other one's just a rebuilt salvage, which is on their certificate of title and can bring in for copies or whatever you need.
Yes, we would need to see the copies on those. I'm not sure what the best way to get it in today. Could it be,
I could scan them and email them to the email that I got from Mary for this meeting.
That would
All
be
right,
fine,
yes.
Jamie. If you can email it to me, I can
Okay.
forward it to the board members.
Okay.
all right, there's probably nothing else we need for questions on that until we get those scans in here. But as long as we have them, should be able to make some kind of a decision on them today. And if we get them in a little bit, we can make the decision on that sometime later in this meeting. Anybody else have any other questions or? So, all right, I feel we can't make a decision at this moment, so that's what we'll do is we'll hang on to this for some time later in this meeting. Any other questions?
Hey, John Parfit, Jamie, can you email those right now? Can you scan them and send them over?
Yes, absolutely. I'm at my computer, so I just need to go over to the scanner to do that
Okay.
and should
Okay,
have
well,
those over in the next few minutes.
Yeah, because I think, John Parfit, you have a few minutes since Wayne, I mean,
That works. That works.
yeah,
We can do
since
that.
John Acavalos didn't log in yet.
All right, what have we been doing does anybody remember what we have done in the past as far as a salvage vehicle? Don't do them that often.
And John, in the past, my recollection is that they do get a significant because it's on the title that they're salvage vehicles.
Correct. Yeah, I can't remember if they work similar to an antique or classic value or not, or was it somewhere greater than that?
It sounds like the assessment from the carriage house is probably a good starting place.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, they put it at about half of the value of what is recorded here. So what was recorded here, I think, was 4,780, and the appraisal amount for the C-Class was 2,800. So about 2,000 less than.
That seems to be a little bit less than half the value.
Yeah, we had it at full value at 6,800. Full value on the GL at 13,400, which was almost identical to the NADA, but we didn't know they were salvage vehicles, obviously.
Jamie, what you're seeing on the tax bill is the assessment. 4780 is 70% of what NADA says the clean retail value is for that vehicle.
Oh, okay.
That's the process for all the motor vehicles on the grand list.
Okay. Sorry, my scanner is quite slow. It's just one of those little tabletop ones.
Mary?
Yep.
Just a question regarding salvage value.
there's nothing published regarding that, or no protocol or we make a determination based on what we think the value should be because it's a salvage vehicle.
Correct. I just looked in NADA real quick, and in the beginning of their books, they do explain their categories of value, and they don't mention salvage value.
Okay, so this is something, we don't have that many of them, but we've had a few and I make a determination at the time.
And I think there's a future appellant here somewhere that has a salvage, so for our case, that would be like 3 vehicles that are salvaged this particular session. I can only recall salvage happening maybe 2 or 3 other times in the years that I've been on there.
Jamie, when you send the email, just let me know you sent it so I know when to expect it.
Okay, yeah, it's uploading to the email now and then I'll send it over. It's just kind of slow. I don't have the best internet connection.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
That John Acavalos hasn't shown up, Mary?
No, and I keep checking the phone and standing up and looking outside in case they show up in person. I don't see anything.
Okay, Mary, I just sent it.
Thank you. It hasn't arrived yet. I'm still waiting.
Okay. It might be because it's kind of a large document with the 2 certificate of titles on it.
Okay. Well, we're actually just approaching your scheduled time slot, so it's all good.
Oh, so I was right. I did hear the message correctly. I was at 9:45 and then I saw the email with 9 a.m. So I got confused and joined early.
Yeah, the email was just to let you know what time the board sessions opened,
Okay.
but everybody has to maintain their own time slot. We weren't going to notify everybody individually of their time slots. We just sent out one email to everyone.
Yeah.
And there you are.
Yeah. This whole process is new to me.
Okay. All right, members, I'm going to forward this to you. Okay, folks, I just sent it to you. Have you folks received it yet?
It just came.
Okay,
Not yet, Mary.
okay. How about you, Matt? Have you received it?
No, I have not seen it come through. Oh, actually, yes, I did.
I just got it, Mary.
Okay.
All right, does anybody have any idea of what kind of a value? I'm thinking sort of roughly half of what we have for full value on both vehicles. Anybody want to chime in?
Well, I just opened up the document. It's a Ford Fusion. I don't know. What do you people have?
I didn't even look at that. Let me check.
Looks like they're two titles. They both indicate rebuilt salvage.
Yeah, it
That's
says
what I see.
2014 Ford Fusion.
Mine doesn't. Mine says 2010 Mercedes
Yeah, mine
C3
too.
and 2000 Mercedes GL 450.
The salvage document.
Oh, I think you're looking at another appellant's.
Oh, maybe they got
last
mixed,
one.
blended in. Okay, I see it now. Hold on a second. Flood rebuilt salvage, the 2010 Mercedes, the C-Class, which she said. And the other one just rebuilt salvage. Okay, I got them. That must have been from another appellant. All right. I'm good.
All right. Now, on the 2012, do you have a statement of value from Carriage House as well on that one, as well as the 2010?
No, I only got an appraisal because I was looking at doing a trade-in, and that's when I got the appraised value. This was in May of 2020. And the appraisal amount was $2,800. And the appraiser was Gerald Winful at Carriage House, New London.
So that 2,800 is what they would give you up for a trade-in?
Correct.
Okay, that just gives us a rough number to deal with.
And Jamie, you just have just that on the on the C-Class, not on the SL. You don't have it.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, it gives us a place to start. just for the sake of argument, I think, Mary, you said the 70% value of the 2010, I think you said 4780.
Correct. And so the full value is 6829.
All right, I just
68.
did a quick math. If you were to take half of the 4780 at of 70%, that comes to 2390. At the 70% value, is that someplace we want to start looking at or talking about? Because that's pretty close to what they offered her at Carriage House of this time, May of last year of 2,800. Anybody else have any feelings?
I just want to mention, Chairman, that the appraised value as a trade-in for 2,800 from Carriage House was for the 2012 Mercedes, if I understood Jamie correctly.
No, it was for the 2010 C-Class.
Then I will move my minutes. Thank you.
John, just walk through your methodology again on what you just said.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Well, we have it appraised at 4780. Full value was 6829. NAD
Right.
was 6825. They're virtually the same. She's got a trade-in value of 2,800 from Carriage House, right, Jamie?
Right.
That is correct.
Right. I'm thinking. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
I just took an arbitrary number of half the value of the 4780 and just made it 2390 just to get a discussion started.
So that would put the full value at 3414.
But typically your trade
about-
value is much lower than your retail value, because that's the
Right,
the amount the dealer's going to give you towards it.
right.
Now, if you look at the NADA book, the value of 2,900 for a trade-in, the full value is 4,700. So I think if we reduced it to the full value to in the neighborhood of 4,700, it'd be more in line of that trade-in value of 2,800. And that would
So basically, we're making the full value what the assessed value is now. So 4,700 full value.
right,
The assessment would be 3,290.
correct.
That I would support that.
All right. You want to make a motion, Don?
I make a motion to reduce the full value to the assessed value of 4,780.
Second the motion.
All right, we have a motion to reduce the 2010 Mercedes to 4,780. We have a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right. Motion passes. All right, and shall we move on to the 2012? Do you want to do something in the same fashion?
That would make sense if we're consistent. Yeah.
Right, for
I agree with John.
consistency's sake.
So I move that we reduce the assessed value of the 2012 Mercedes GL 450 to the assessed value of 9420. That would be, so the 94, I'm sorry. Let me get the, so that would, I'm sorry, so 9420. Let me get the, so reduce it to assessed value 9420, full value. Dividing instead of multiplying 6594. So I move that we revise the assessed value to 65.94.
Could you, could you just round it, John, please?
Yeah, okay.
6590.
I move that we reduce the assessed value on the 2012 Mercedes GL 450 to 6,500.
Oh, 6,500. Okay.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to reduce the assessed value of the 2012 Mercedes to 6,500. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstention? Hearing none, motion passes. All right, Ms. Lee, we're going to be sending you within 7 days a notice from the assessor's office on our decision.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then I guess that means we're all set from today, unless there's somebody else with a question or comment. Okay, then. You have a great day. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, bye now.
I know.
Just a thought on this going forward. We'll probably have, well, we have other people with salvage vehicles. What John Piazenza suggested was basically a 30% reduction off of fair market value, and then recalculate everything from that. If that makes sense to everybody, then we probably ought to try to be somewhat consistent.
Right,
It would be okay with me. That sounds like a pretty good place.
yeah.
Well,
Good.
Jim, since you made up our other little thing for the website, would you like to
Yeah, maybe do one for cars. Yeah.
make
Yeah,
a
one-
procedure for it?
Codify that.
Yeah, well, but that sounds, yeah, okay. But as far as today goes, I think that's, if we all agree, then
Yeah.
that makes a pretty good standard for us to follow. So we're not confused by this thing in the future.
Yeah, I agree.
So
All
we're
right.
taking
And with all the hurricanes and storms and flooding, there are going to be a lot of salvage vehicles. There's a lot of,
Well, I would never buy a flooded vehicle. And that car is going to be trouble from forever.
electronics, yeah.
This was all part of Katrina usually. And there were just lots and lots of cars in that condition.
Anybody in the
I
queue,
remember
Mary?
the warnings.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right. Nobody else waiting there, Mary?
No, but John Parfit, what did you calculate as the assessment for the 2010 Mercedes?
I got a full value of 4780.
Mhm.
I didn't use my calculator.
Okay,
What- I don't-
3350 is that assessment.
3350?
Yeah.
Okay,
And when we say round, whatever the appraised value is, 70% of that, just round it to a nearest dollar one way or the other, up or down, or tens. So if it's 66.45, make it 66.50 or 66.40, something like that.
Okay.
Okay,
the actual taxes on that would be pennies.
Correct.
Small difference.
correct.
We need every penny we can get. Just kidding, Mary.
You know, I get people laugh at me for turning in bottles and cans, but I look at it, nickel here, nickel there. A couple of weeks ago, I turned in some bottles and cans and it was like, $11. Okay. I can see
So,
why the kid on the bike picks up stuff.
so Mr. Akavalos hasn't shown up, Mary, so he's going to be
No, and there's no phone calls. So I have no communication from him.
All right, so the Soraya Cologne Milan is next at 10. What time is it? So I'm not sure if she's there. Hey, Jim Mitchell?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of submerged cars in New York, New Jersey with Fred, Ida, and Henri too.
No, but
There are going to be a lot of salvage vehicles floating
Well,
around.
it's just really sad because it gets, all the electronics get wet.
Yeah, they're
and
pretty much,
Nothing ever works good after that.
yeah. So there might be more of these kind of appeals coming up. Unfortunately.
Well, as long as if we have a set procedure, then I think we've established that today.
Yeah, we can just follow
Like-
that method.
then
That
we
way we could defend it because it's consistent and
It's consistent.
So just so you folks are aware, I have the office cell phone, which is on, and all the appellants were given this cell number. My email is open. Every now and then I look to see outside, but Parks and Rec is going on, so there's a lot of cars out here today, but I think the appellants have more than one way to get in touch with you through me, to let us know that they're having a hard time dialing in or whatnot, just like Mr. Atkins called a couple of times on my phone.
So noted.
There is still no one in the waiting room.
Okay, we'll wait. Well, now might be a good time that if Matt has any questions of us, we got a few moments, we can answer anything that you might come to mind for you.
So far, it's been really helpful just to kind of observe the process. Like I said, I think we talked on the phone last night, John. It was my first kind of exposure to either motor vehicle valuation or the appellate process. So it's just helpful to listen so far. So I appreciate it.
All right, good.
Usually have these long gaps, usually they're stacked up. This is unusual.
Is it? Yeah. So I saw that.
Usually the fact that people are in the queue waiting and we have, if some sort of reason, then we've got someone else in there, or a couple of people, but this lull is unusual. At least in my
So is Kelly Blue Book generally the standard as a barometer, or what we?
NADA we use.
NADA. Okay.
Matt, if this is just if I remember correctly, Mary can help me, but I believe these numbers come from the state and then Mary gets them and sends them out. Is that
Okay.
That's still correct?
Yeah, so Matt, just by way of kind of an overview, assessors in the state of Connecticut are governed by a lot of things, mostly statutes, and we have an organization that we all belong to called Connecticut
CCMA.
Association of Assessing Officers. And for motor vehicles, we work with OPM, Office of Policy and Management, which is a state agency. They provide a recommendation for schedule of value for motor vehicles every year.
Okay.
And pretty much every assessor accepts it. And their recommended schedule of values is to use JD Power's NADA and to use clean retail. So there's a lot of things that don't come through NADA that we have to kind of find other ways to value. For a majority of the vehicles you'll hear appeals for, probably through the NADA books, and we have them in the office. We buy our own version every year. In Connecticut, the assessment date is October 1st. So you have to always think in terms of what was this property worth October 1st and what resources did the assessor use to get to that value. So I'm just getting ready to send you through the email your own version of the BAA handbook. CAAO revised it in 2017. CAAO also hosts usually a workshop for Board of Assessment Appeal members, and we have money in our budget to cover the cost. It's $50 per person.
Okay.
I recommend that the next time we send out an email to let you know when it's happening, that you try to make it. Usually they'll offer 1 or 2 locations in the state. They're evening classes. It's just one class.
Okay.
Okay.
I think what's interesting about those sessions is you get Board of Assessment members from various towns coming in, and you get to talk with a couple of different ones on how their town does. Most of them seem to run very similar, but I'm finding there were several towns that and there's nothing against Mary per se, but the assessor runs amok. It is a good way to put it, where they feel that their word is gospel, but those are just the few exceptions. Most everybody else seems to work on the same page together. So, but it's interesting to talk to see other people from other towns of how they work their Board of Assessment, and you can get some good tips.
Yeah.
Interesting stories. But,
let's see.
Well, looks like Cologne Milan is a no-show, and Shumway is the next one at 10:15.
There is no one in the waiting room. I have no phone calls and I have no emails. And just also by way of reminder, we mailed the Zoom notice to every appellant, and we also emailed it to every appellant. So I have a phone call coming in. I'm going to mute. That was personal call.
Okay.
Like I said, Matt, it's not usually like this.
Yeah, wait till the spring.
That's what John was saying in March, right? So that's going
Yeah, the
to be.
reval, because of the reval, will be inundated, but I imagine, but this is highly unusual. Feel a little,
It's nice outside. So
feel a little rejection here. I don't know.
yeah. The weather is beautiful so far. So maybe that's,
Yeah, be a factor, but
Matt, what'll happen is in the spring reval being this session will have impacted the reval with a lot of homes. What we'll do is we'll probably split up into several groups, do all the hearings, and then at one point we will meet as a group to make the decision on it. So if we get another alternate between now and then, I envision 3 groups of 2 splitting off to try and get as many as we can done, at least all the information in, and then it sometimes makes it a lot easier when it comes time to making the decision, because we don't have to individually think about every single one. And who knows how many we'll have. We could have 100, 200, 300 appeals. We don't know. I imagine we'll know more of that more like February. And we don't want to even think about 2001. That was the big one. I think we had like over 1,000 appellants.
wow.
Something like that. I don't remember the exact number. But
You
Wow.
did. You
Yeah,
did, but that's when revaluations were once every 10 years.
Okay.
so when somebody's house
shift
jumped
is a
from
little
40,000 to 140,000, they got got a little upset.
But what happens is if the grand list grows and the budget stays relatively stable, the mill rate drops. So some people's taxes, depending on the shift in their value, some people's taxes won't go up as others, or, you know, it's just all relative to your property and the condition and the value.
Yeah, and sales in various neighborhoods, because, you know, a Fieldcrest neighborhood is going to be evaluated different than a no-link neighborhood, and so on and so forth. So,
Yeah.
And when we contract with the reval contractor, which is Tyler Technologies, they'll come and make a presentation to the board members at your first meeting so that you have their background on how they did what they did. Ultimately, our office is responsible for the results, and we're pretty well educated on what they did because we work in partnership with them. And you'll have a set of sales that they use to value. So if we have 800 confirmed valid arm's length sales, we stratify that data and we appraise all the other 9,000 residential properties with it. It's called mass appraisal.
Right.
And it's relative. It's relative to a lot of factors, but it's not a bad system. It actually works pretty well.
I guess
Now, have
could
you
say-
always consistently used Tyler Technologies for the mass valuation, or?
So revaluations became data managed in the early 90s. Our first revaluation company that used a CAMA package was Vision.
Yes. Yep.
And we have used Tyler since 2001. They are
Okay.
very familiar with Groton. They've performed 5 prior revaluations. I have data collectors on this project that were here 10 years ago. So we have some continuity with them.
Well, that's a good, yeah.
It is.
You know, try as you might be consistent, there's always, call them exceptions to the rule, where, you know, you have that one odd house or something in a particular
Sure.
neighborhood where everybody's at a certain level. Well, you got one that's up or one that's down, and try as you might to get it them all equal. There's always something that falls through the cracks that we try to fix and adjust as necessary. And there are some houses that I think we see the same issue over and over again. So sometimes Mary can flag certain ones that for us to take a look at that we normally do, and things like that.
Okay.
Makes it a little
Okay.
easier.
You do have one call-in listener. Let me see if I can find this phone number. This would be Tranquita. So if you folks are ready for the Tranquita appeal, it looks like he's dialing in with his phone. Let me know when you're ready, please.
Okay, I'm ready.
Good morning, Mr. Tranquita. Can you unmute your phone, please? Mr. Tranquita, we cannot hear you. Your phone is muted.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Tranquita?
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Okay, good morning.
Morning.
All right, Mr.
How are you?
Tranchita, my name is John
Yes.
Parfit. I am the chairman of the Board of Assessment Appeals. And I'm going to be referred to as the chairman because we have another member whose name is John. So to avoid a confusion, I'm going to read you a little introduction first, and then it'll be your turn. All right. Your hearing will be with the Board of Assessment Appeals. Board members are volunteers appointed by the town council and are residents and taxpayers in the town of Groton. This hearing is your opportunity to state your case about why you disagree with the valuation established by the assessor's office. Any evidence or exhibits you submit will become part of the permanent record. You will be notified in writing of the board's decision. If you disagree with the decision of the board, you have the right to file an appeal with Superior Court. And what you have here on our list is a 2004 Ford Ranger. Okay, now it's your turn. Tell us all about the Ford.
It's definitely not in average condition. It's definitely below average condition. $500 to $1,000. Most mechanics have informed me of that.
Mr. Tranquita, this is board member John Piacenza. How you?
Hi, how are you?
I have a question. I was looking up the NADA values on these various vehicles that were being appealed, and I couldn't identify, is it a extra cab or long bed, or, because all I have is Ford Ranger for information.
It's a 6-foot bed.
6-foot bed, so it's got 4 doors, so it's extra cab?
Yes, extended cab. The XLT.
Yeah. I'm sorry, XLT, you said?
Correct.
Okay.
But
And
it's very,
what do you
very
think?
much very rusted. Swiss cheese.
What about mileage? Does it have high mileage or average or?
152,000.
And what did you say? I'm sorry, actually, what did you say you think the estimated value is?
500 to 1,000.
Let me see if I can find it on that sheet.
All right, Tranchita, this is the chairman speaking. I'm looking at some receipts that you had sent in, and looks like work recently done, and it appears to be in a neighborhood of about $1,000 to $1,200. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, it's a little over $1,200, it looks like. And that was all done recently?
About 4 months ago, 6 months ago.
John Parfit, do all the members have those receipts?
No,
No.
I don't know. It was mailed out. I printed it up off of a email that was sent from your office, so I would have, I think other people have them, but
I do, I see them.
Is that what Lynn sent?
Yes.
Yeah, but I didn't see the attachment. Let's see. I saw the email, but let me see.
Well,
Wait,
she may have sent 2 emails, John Piacenza.
Yes,
She
one
sent
was for the phone number, right? Okay, I see. This one just says the phone number. I don't have.
That's what the receipts are about.
How much was it for, John?
let's see. This is, it could be more than $1,200
Or what?
in receipts. One was for master brake cylinder labor. Another one was for leaf springs, hanger bracket kit, used tires, mountain balance tires. Another one, yeah, another one for leaf springs. I'm not sure if that's part of the same thing or not, but it comes to between 1,000 and 1,200 from what I can quickly surmise here and in recent work.
Mr. Trankita, do you have an estimate on the body work by chance? You're gonna have the body restored?
No, I haven't had the body restored. Just have been having
No.
the framework done. The
No, I
frame
mean,
is-
if you were going to have it, do you have like an estimate of how much spring? I mean, the leaf springs might be related to the rust, right? I'm assuming.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
did you get an estimate? You said it's like Swiss cheese, so that would be helpful if you had an estimate of how much it would cost to perform the body work.
Yeah, it would be more than the value of the truck. I'm just trying to keep it on the road.
Right. Well, we're trying to determine value and you know, some of the stuff in your documentation has to do with regular maintenance. That's not something that we would consider to reduce value, I don't think,
It's
but
basically junkyard car. It's basically a tow away, tow away junkyard car is what it is. That I'm just trying to keep on the road. And the frame
Right.
is Swiss cheese, and I just keep on repairing the frame, and it just keeps breaking down. And the body work is all rusted out. The bed is rusted out. The interior is the only thing that's legitimate.
right.
So, I don't know if you folks know, but Lynn is just very part-time here. And when she emailed the board members, Mr. Trankita's document, she didn't send it to me. So could someone forward that to me, please, when you get a chance? So I can submit it with part of the record. Thank you.
And I will submit my copies when I do the paperwork anyway, just in case.
They say these come out of the factory rusty, you know, this metal from this period of time. I had a 93 that was less rusty.
Yeah. I had an
Yeah,
89,
actually,
the bed rusted all the time. I had it repaired several times. Don, what about reduction for the mileage? Do you have the book handy?
I don't have it. Okay.
But you had it.
Oh, I'm sorry, for the mileage?
Yes. 152,000.
No, I don't have it.
Hmm.
Oh, that'd be approximately 10,000 miles a year, right? That he's putting on it,
Yeah, it's,
roughly.
yeah, it's 17 years old.
Yeah, between 9 and 10,000 a year. We just
Yeah,
did-
about 9,000, not excessive, really.
So I have the book for mileage. And at 152,000 for a class 2. The book breaks it down by vehicle year. So it starts at 2012 and it goes back to 2006 and older. And it, in the column for 2006 and older, it's $125.
Off the full value.
Correct.
Okay.
So the mileage range is between 150,001 to 155,000 miles.
Mary, what do they list as a vehicle in poor condition?
The book doesn't address poor condition, John. It just gives clean loan and clean retail. It has condition categories that break it down by clean, average, and rough.
What's rough?
Says significant mechanical defects requiring repairs in order to restore reasonable running condition. Paint, body, and wheel surfaces have considerable damage to their finish, which may include dull, faded, or oxidized paint, small to medium-sized dents, frame damage, rust, or obvious signs of previous repairs. Interior reflects above average wear with inoperable equipment, damaged or missing trim, and heavily soiled or permanent imperfections on the headliner, carpet, and upholstery. May have a branded title. The vehicle will need substantial reconditioning and repair to be made ready for resale. Some existing damage may be difficult to restore.
But they don't give a price category for rough.
They don't.
Okay.
Oh, actually, they do. I'm sorry, they do. It's the first column on your page. Look at your page. There's rough, average, trade-in, clean, trade-in. We use clean retail.
Yeah, no, see, I paid $500 for the truck because the frame was split in half in two places. And at the time, several years ago, I had it repaired for $2,100.
So
and
19.
it's continued to split many places. And
So 1975.
the body is rusted as well.
Mary, would that be 1975 if I'm reading the right column?
If you're using the Super Cab 4D XLT, yes.
Yeah, okay. I think that's what you have. You have a super cab or extra cab or XLT.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we reduce the full value to or assessed value to 1,700 based on a full value, or I mean a assessed value to 1,700 based upon a full value of $2,000, predicated upon the condition of the vehicle and what the NADA shows for the value of a vehicle in rough condition. I think that's very clear. Like it qualifies.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Yes.
All right, we have a motion with a second to reduce the assessed value to $1,700 based on condition. And anybody else have any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries?
May I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
John Piacenza, what was your assessment that you put forward and what was your full value?
Full value, 2,000. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. That was, I made a mistake. Assessed value, I was trying to full value at, so it'd be 1,400 for assessed value. Full value 2,000. I said 1,700 because I was thinking of the 1,725 and the rough and the column for rough. So it's full value 2,000, assessed value 1,400.
Thank you.
All right,
Sorry.
then.
Sorry about that.
All right, then we'll adjust that for the miscalculation. Does anybody else have any other questions before we end it then? All right, then. Mr. Tranchiti, you will be receiving the communication in the mail from the assessor's office as to our decision today, sometime in about 7 days or so. Do you have any other questions?
No, I do not. Thank you for your time.
Okay, then.
Thank you.
for coming, and enjoy the weekend.
Thank you very much. Take care. You as well.
All right, and our next appellant is
It will be Giovanni Pinto, but they have not logged in yet.
all right.
Mary, we were talking about Tyler a little while ago, and they came by and I wanted to show them inside the house. There's some things I wanted them to see, and they said they're not allowed to go inside anymore.
So because of COVID, my decision were that they would not inspect any interior. They would take information at the door. But if you want to submit something in photos, you can send them to me and I'll forward it to Tyler. but they were not doing any interior inspections.
Okay, that's
To
what.
protect,
that's
to
what he told
protect
me.
themselves and to protect taxpayers.
Yep.
Mhm. And it's been on our website. It's been on our public brochure that we put out. In fact, my staff, if they're doing new construction inspections, they're also not going into any interior.
No kidding. Okay.
Mhm.
I hope this COVID thing is over soon. I'd like to get back to normal.
Yeah. We had to make a decision early on, and then we've revisited it a couple of times, but it's really not worth anyone's health. So we're just doing the best we can.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of people will be very happy about that. The people that don't like to have the entries, but those of us that like to have the entries don't get it.
Sure. I mean, if you want to send some photos, there have been a few people that have done that, and that we just forward it to Tyler and they just stay with their records.
Yeah, I think I would, in my case, I think I'll just wait for whatever their distance, whatever they say. If it's no change, that's okay.
If what's no change?
Well, I mean, if the assessment doesn't change, then it doesn't matter. But if it's, we'll see what happens.
Do you think market values haven't changed since 2016?
No, I don't know. I just say I haven't seen any numbers, and he didn't do any inspections. So all he did was walk around the outside.
Yeah. This was a full measure and list. And Matt, this is good for you to hear. Every 10 years, we're required by law to fully measure and list every property. And you know what, folks, let's continue this later. Hope Brayton is in the waiting room.
Okay.
John Parfit, if you want to let me know when you want Hope to be allowed into the meeting.
Okay.
That matrix.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, matrix.
Good morning, Hope. You have to unmute your Zoom session, please.
Hi there.
Hello.
I hope.
Hi. Oh, these are familiar faces.
All right.
Hi.
I'm John Parfit, the chairman. You can call me the chairman because another member's name is John. I'm going to read you a little statement and then it'll be your turn. Our hearing will be with the Board of Assessment Appeals and board members or volunteers appointed by the town council and our residents and taxpayers of the town of Groton. This hearing is your opportunity to state your case about why you disagree with the valuation established by the assessor's office. Any evidence or exhibits you submit will become part of the permanent record. You will be notified in writing of the board's decision. If you disagree with the decision of the board, you have the right to file an appeal with the Superior Court. That being said, it's now your turn.
Hi. So as I've done this every year, several years for the same car in the same condition, just older, well, a little worse on the inside because I have a very active dog that has free run, and so the front seat is falling apart, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, it functions conditionally, but its value, I think, is listed with the town at $39.50. $39.60. And when I do a Kelly Blue Book value, I come up with like $1,200. So that's the way it is. It has 193,000, like 380 miles, something like that. And the duct tape is still there. Nothing has changed.
Hope, we've seen this car and you actually brought it in and we looked at it?
Yeah, we went out and looked at it.
Yes.
Remember it? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What did we do last year for this? Because I think it was, what,
Last
2
year, the assessment was reduced to $1,500.
Yeah. I'm amenable to reducing it again to 1,500 and so move.
Second,
I remember the car well.
it was the duct
All right.
tape.
Yeah. That had to have been, what, 2 years ago?
I've re-duct taped, but I have to do it periodically because the duct tape fails.
Yeah.
We don't charge for the duct tape.
Oh, good.
I wouldn't know how to value it. Was that $1,500 at 70% assessed value, John?
That's the assessed value, John.
All right, we have a motion and a second to reduce the vehicle to $1,500 assessed. Is there any other items that anybody needs to discuss at this moment about it? Hearing none, all those in favor of the reduction, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, the motion the motion passes for 1,500. And you'll be receiving the usual the mail from the assessor's office sometime 7 days or so.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, gentlemen. As always, thank you too for your service of doing this. It's easier.
Good luck. I hope you break 200,000 with it.
Thanks, I'm trying to. All right, take care, guys. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
John, can you just clarify who seconded that motion for my minutes, please?
Jim,
Jim,
Thank you.
Yeah, that car was amazing. I mean, we went out and looked at it. Do you remember it, Jim?
I can't remember specifically,
We
but
went out, it was out in the parking lot.
we probably took
Not
one
right
look.
building it further, and we looked at it, it's okay, fine. It was,
Yeah, we don't need to see anymore, just.
yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
it's amazing.
How many yards of duct tape?
Yeah, 200,000 miles. She really got her money's worth. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. It's just, it was, incredible how much duct tape was on that car.
I think that's the highest mileage we've seen in a, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Mechanically, yeah, it runs. It's just cosmetically, it's
Well,
black.
that's why Toyota's, I think, the most popular car in the world, or popular brand.
They make really reliable engines and transmissions. They really do. Durable too. Honda's pretty good too.
Very good. Yeah.
All right, our next appointment is at 11:15 with Karen Adams. I am going under the presumption that she will be here. She always is. And Matt, for your information, this is one that we have reduced over the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, because it isn't not an accurate NADA description of it, and there's no arguing with it. There is a reduction there, but she has to come in.
I'm sorry, I missed what kind of vehicle this is?
Silverado.
Silverado.
Got it.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people that haven't called in or.
Well,
There's
there's nothing we can do about them not calling.
No, I'm just kind of like summarizing here.
Enough time for your coffee break.
Maybe. You want to propose that, John? Somebody might come in, call in.
Maybe Karen has the donuts.
Oh.
So Matt, just to kind of continue what we started to talk about before, if you go to the town,
Measurement, right?
yeah, if you go to the town's website and to the assessment page, there is a summary of what the reval project entails. And you should have received a brochure, a 4-page brochure at the beginning of the year outlining what we were doing. So, you know, feel free
Yeah,
to.
I'll take a look.
Yeah.
Here's somebody's children. All right, I'm gonna step away for a moment. I will be back in a couple of minutes. All right, I'm back.
Folks, Karen Adams is in the waiting room if you want to let me know when to let her through.
I am ready.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Nice to see you all again.
Right.
Usual,
Karen, this is
usual yearly
John
get
Parfit.
together.
Karen, this is John Parfit. I'm the chairman. Good
Yes.
morning. And refer to me as the chairman, please, because our other member, his name is John as well. And I'll read you our introduction and then it'll be your turn. Your hearing will be with the Board of Assessment Appeals. Board members are volunteers appointed by the town council and are residents and taxpayers in the town of Groton. This hearing is your opportunity to state your case about why you disagree with the valuation established by the assessor's office. Any evidence or exhibits you submit will become part of the permanent record. You'll be notified in writing of the board's decision. And if you disagree with the decision of the board, you have the right to file an appeal with Superior Court. That said there, Karen, now it's your turn. Tell us all about your 2006 Silverado.
Well, it's, as you well know, Mr. Chairman, I'm here on a yearly basis because I get over assessed. I'm also referring to my appeal last year where you lowered my assessment to $2,850. There are various items on my truck that require deductions because they are not part of the, shall we say, average that the, I guess the state looks at for their pricing, such as the fact that it's a standard. So there's no automatic transmission. There's no cruise control. There are no power door locks. It's not a work truck. It has a V6 engine. So I mean, it's a bare bones truck, and I would be happy if you would just lower me back to what you did last year.
All right, then. If we could look at the numbers of what we gave her for last year to move them forward. Do we have any of those numbers handy?
$2,850 was last year's assessment.
Okay. And that's with all of the reductions. I'll make a motion to reduce the assessed value to $2,850.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to reduce the assessed value to $2,850. Is there any other comments or hearing none? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? So moved. Okay, Karen, you'll have your statement sent by the assessor's office within 7 days or so. And it's very good seeing you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, gentlemen. See you
You're
next year.
You're welcome.
I know.
All right,
Goodbye.
then, you have a good day.
Hey, Mary. Mary,
Yeah.
what did we have it assessed at last year? Do you know? By chance?
$2,850.
No.
That
What
was
was-
reduction.
That was, where did we have it assessed at? I don't know if you have that handy enough.
The original assessment was 4,110 and you reduced it to 2,850.
Okay. It's already 4110, now it's 3620. I'm, okay. Just curious.
And depending on what next year's numbers say, who knows what
Right.
what that will be. But this has been an
Okay.
ongoing thing for quite some time.
Got what? Anybody chomping at the bit to talk to us, Mary? Not really.
There's nobody in the waiting room. There's no phone calls. There's no emails.
Oh, nothing.
And the parking lot is empty.
That means no. Yeah. Interesting.
The next appellant is at 11:30, and it's Christopher Helminski.
Yes, and he might be calling in because he was on his way north. And he was going to try to make sure that he could either call in, or he thought his Wi-Fi would be spotty wherever he's landing. But I told him you could accommodate him. Calling in on the cell phone is appropriate, so.
As long as he can do that, because I'm saying this could be worth his while, but we will see.
Excuse me.
Wake up, John.
Do I have to? Just resting my eyes. This is highly unusual.
It is.
It really is. I mean, I remember we'd have 2 or 3 people in the queue waiting.
Or out in the office hallway there.
Yeah.
Right, right. Was it 2 years ago that we did it live? 2019? Yeah, I think so. No, I don't remember now when.
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
We did. Last fall was the first time.
Right, the COVID restriction. Because COVID started in March of 2020, I think. February, March, April, something.
That's a good question. Let me look.
Yeah, because we shut down in March. That's when the nation shut down, late March.
March
Then
2020.
you would have had your appeals in April because we had an extension that year. So you would have had your first Zoom sessions in April of 2020.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So 2 years ago, we were able to meet live in September 2019. We went outside and Hope brought her car, and I remember that one because it stands out. We're still dealing with it. Fortunately.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for me Monday going back to work at EB with the latest mandate came out officially. I'm not sure how people are going to react.
Well, everybody has to go back to the office.
Well, the mandate just came out whether people will be required to either take the vaccination or be tested every week or however it works out. I don't know all those details, but I know there's going to be a lot of unhappy people. Personally, having had COVID and in the hospital, and then I've had both my shots, I'm going to continue to take it, regardless of who says what to who and why. I just hope that people will be smart enough to do that, because 13 days in the hospital was not fun.
Yeah.
And if this is what they choose to do, I feel sorry for them and their families if they do get it, but I don't know how he's going to.
Right. Well, I know
on it.
of guys that work at EB, most of them, some in engineering and some in, they're in your buildings, Department 330, and they're working from home still.
Yeah, there's a lot of people still working at home. Anybody who can, but I can't see the art people trying to build something in their backyard from home.
Tough. But you're in the office or moving?
Yes, I'm still in the office. I'm at Kings Highway at the moment, but
Yeah,
same thing.
Tough to build a submarine remotely.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people that haven't had it, and some of them are very vocal, some are very quiet, and I'm not sure how the reaction is going to be overall. I see two people saying, I don't know why you're not doing it, and I see other people saying, I don't want it. Well,
there'll be repercussions.
I'm sure, but
school system it's across the country.
Yeah. So. I do hope that people decide to take it anyway and get it over with. Yes, you might be a little sick or feel a little funny on the initial shots. I could feel a little bit more on the second. First one was just a little sore in the arm. But without it, the end result is not pleasant.
Nothing, Mary, huh?
No, not yet.
Boy.
Of course, I know, John, you, Jim, and Don, retired. You're really not at any workplace, like me or many others are. So, you almost see things a little bit differently. But you still do what you do.
Yeah, I'm doing a Zoom meeting right now. The board of assessment appeals. So let me call you back. Until 1 o'clock. I'll call you. Sorry about that.
You had to break a lunch date?
He was buying too. That hurt.
We got it up here. You can go.
That one hurts. No, just kidding. Hey, once a purchasing agent, always a purchasing. No. Ooh. Beautiful day out there.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So we have Gene Reed coming up at 11:45, I guess. Chris Helminski was 11:30. Highly unusual for this many not calling.
We're pushing up a 50% no-show.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's highly unusual. Usually there's like 1, 2, maybe 3.
yeah, this is like telling Matt, this is not how it usually goes. Won't be like this in April
I think not, no.
by a long shot.
Well, I'm looking at Christopher Helminski being an official no-show at this moment. And Gene Reed is the anything yet, Mary?
Nobody's in the waiting room.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
I have a feeling we're going to hear from some of these appellants that they missed their appointment.
I do too.
Mhm.
I get a flurry of last minute flurry here.
No, I think we'll hear from them probably next week.
Oh, next week.
Mhm. Yeah, we emailed, we called them all to let them know of their appointment time.
Right.
We emailed instructions. We sent them a letter of instructions that gave the office cell number and my email address if they needed to reach out to me during the appointment sessions in case they were having any kind of technical difficulty. So I don't really know what else could have been done.
I don't think there's anything else that could have been done. It's just, you got, if you want it done, you got to take your own responsibility.
Oh, excuse me.
Are you starting interviews soon, Mary? For the deputy, or are you further along?
The position is open until the 29th, so
Oh,
next Wednesday.
Well, I hope you get a lot of good candidates.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we've had 15 appeals and so far we've ruled on 8, so. Low percentage.
Well, I'm gonna sort of declare Jean Reed a no-show. Why don't we take a 15-minute break, grab some lunch and come back at 12:15 for the next appellant?
Sounds
All
good.
right, then.
Second.
Take a 15-minute break, except for Auntie seems to have eaten already. So. So we will do that. We're adjourned till 12:15.
So Sean Wild is in the queue. That's your 12:15 appointment, just to let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I have 12:15. Is everybody back yet? I don't see John in his picture.
No, or Jim. Other Jim.
All right, so we'll give them a few more minutes.
Sean, I just want to let you know, we know you're there in the queue. We're just waiting for a couple more members to come back.
Got it. Thank you. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, thank you.
Sounds good.
right, John.
I wasn't finished. All it is soup. Took a few minutes to warm it up.
Who's missing? Jim?
Yeah.
Matt and Matt?
No, I'm here.
Hey, Matt.
Anybody want to wait a few more minutes or just get started without Jim?
Give him a couple more minutes, I guess. But
All right. There he is. Welcome back, Jim.
Oh, I had a great lunch. Hope you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, at 12:22, we're back in session. We have Mr. Wild waiting for us. Mr. Wild, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, I'm John Parfit. I'm the chairman of the Board of Assessment Appeals. Because we have another member by the name of John also, I'm being referred to as the chairman. I'm going to read you a little introduction and then it'll be your turn. Your hearing will be with the Board of Assessment Appeals. Board members or volunteers appointed by the town council and are residents and taxpayers in the town of Groton. This hearing is your opportunity to state your case about why you disagree with the valuation established by the assessor's office. Any evidence or exhibits you submit will become part of the permanent record. You will be notified in writing of the board's decision. If you disagree with the decision of the board, you will have the right to file an appeal with Superior Court. And now it is your turn. Tell us all about your 2014 Ford Fusion.
Yep. First of all, thank you everyone for meeting with me today on this Saturday. So it's a 2014 Ford Fusion with 103,500 miles on it. It is a rebuilt salvage title, which is the main reason that I'm asking for the value to be reassessed. Currently, the value on the motor vehicle tax bill I received is at $7,120. But with the rebuilt salvage title, I believe that it should be 20 to 40% less than that. Since it's been rebuilt, there's been extensive paint damage that's needed to be repaired. And that further diminishes the quality.
We have the documentation regarding the salvage. In fact, it's a title showing it's a salvage vehicle.
I don't think I've received it.
I got
Sean-
it. I have
Sean,
it.
is there any way that you can take a picture and email that to me quickly?
I believe I sent it through the email.
Oh,
You have it? I
okay,
think John has it, Mary.
okay.
Yes, I have a copy of it that came in email the other day.
Okay.
Is it a flood salvage, John, or just salvage, or?
I don't know.
When it was close to new, it was in a front collision.
Oh, okay. So it's not a flood, it wasn't water damage, just a salvage because of the accident?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you have a value on it?
I'm thinking between 4,200 and 5,600.
So we've encountered a few of these type vehicles in this, actually today's session, Sean, and we sort of developed a methodology we need to be consistent with. And so having said that, we're basically taking the assessed value, which is in this case 7120. That's the assessed value. Because the full market value of the NADA are 10,171, 10,175 respectively. And so we would, based on that methodology, we would assign a full value of 7120 or 7,100. So full value, and that would be consistent with what we've done with the other vehicles that we had appeals on, and that would bring the assessed value down to 5,000 approximately, rounding up, or 4,970, but we tend to round. So, and therefore, I'd like to make a motion accordingly that we reduce the assessed value to $5,000, which would be a full value of
Right, we have a-
7143.
All right, so your motion is for an assessed value of 5,000. John,
Assessed value.
all right, do we have a second?
I second.
Excuse me, are you making the assessment 4,970 or 5,000? You have to be
I was-
specific because we have to post it as you
Right.
decide.
5,000.
Okay.
All right, Don, is your second okay?
Yes.
For
I'm good
five,
with that.
okay. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we have a motion to make it the assessed value of 5,000. We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, so carried for assessed value of $5,000. All right, and you will receive a notice in the mail from the assessor's office as to our decision today. Do you have any other questions or?
Nope, thank you very much.
Okay,
You're welcome.
all right then, we will.
Take care, Sean.
You at one point then, thank you. All right, so that really is all that we have to assess right now. So I think we just need to wait for the minutes to be typed up and we can review them and vote on the minutes. So I guess we can take a break for the moment and come back when the minutes are ready.
They are ready. I'm gonna send them right now.
Whoa, she's fast.
Veritable paragon of efficiency.
The only thing I really didn't quite get was who seconded that last,
That was Don.
Done.
okay, well, I put Mitchell in there, so I'm gonna change it on my end to Marshawn. But in the meantime, if you could just take a look at everything else.
All right. Mary,
Yep,
it says board broke for lunch at 12:15. It was actually at 12.
okay. Thank you.
Mary, you might want to put a space between John and Terry Akavalos and then Jamie Lee. Just a break in there. It looks like it's all part of the same thing. You see what I'm referring to?
I don't, because they're on different pages. One's on page 1 and the other one's on page 2.
I can't tell that on mine. It runs together. Okay. It's all one. Doesn't show on page breaks. Right? Which is interesting. Doesn't show any breaks. You got 2 periods after for Jamie Lee, where it says flood salvage rebuilt, period and period in May 2020. First line on the C300.
Yep, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
I see the same issue between Hope Braden and Karen Adams with no space in between the two. I assume that goes to another page. as
Right.
well.
It's whatever view you're using, your pages are running together, but Hope Brayton's on page 2 and Karen Adams is on page 3.
Hear that hawk out there?
The very last paragraph, motion to adjourn is made by Piens at 7:25.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting. I'm just going to edit it when you guys decide.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't see any other changes.
The mail date is, may have already mentioned this, the mail date just has X's in there. Is that,
Because I can't mail it until I have their decision back. And you guys have to, you should come in and sign it this week so I can get it out before Friday.
okay? Okay,
So when the mail date, when I know what it is, I will
Yeah.
put it in the minutes, but it's got to be exactly the day that we mail it. And I
Okay.
don't know when that will be yet, but I have 7 days to mail it from, so it has to go out next Friday. So you need to all stop by town hall and sign the originals that John Parfit's dropping off, please.
it might almost have been better to say that it mailed within 7 days, that way.
I can't do that because sometimes this stuff ends up in court and it has to be exact.
That was too easy.
It was too easy.
Too
There's
easy.
no gray area, which is not true, but there's a lot of gray area.
It's all
So,
gray.
the
Right,
only thing-
Don?
It's all gray.
Yeah.
the only thing you're changing then is the lunch break. And then I think who seconded the motion in the last one? I think it was Don.
Correct. I've already
And then-
changed it to Don. Yeah.
All right, the motion for adjournment. And then the other thing is, let me know what day there'll be cookies out. I'll come in to sign.
They're already there waiting for you.
Yeah. I put a dent in what was out there the other day when I went in to make coffee.
I don't know. I got candy the other day.
You're the chairman.
Trying to sweeten me up. Okay.
I'm all set, Mary.
Okay.
Anybody else have any other comments?
No, looks good.
Looks good.
Okay, then Do I need to make a motion for as amended or just to accept the minutes?
I think you can say accept the minutes as amended.
All right, I will make the motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Second,
John Piazza, you seconded, correct?
correct.
All right, we have a motion and we have a second. Does anybody else have any other items? Hearing nothing, all in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Extended? Motion carries. The minutes are accepted. All right, then, unless there's nothing else to come before the board today, we can close the meeting out at 12:39.
You probably should make a motion to adjourn and go through that process.
Yes.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Don seconded it. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion, meeting is adjourned at 12:40.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Will we meet again in April? Is that the next chance?
If we file for an extension on the grand list, it will be April. If we don't file for an extension on the grand list, it will be March.
Long ways off. Good.
Long ways off.
Yeah.
Matt, you get to study between now and then.
Yeah.
My best. I appreciate the time. Thanks for letting me sit in.
If you have any questions, feel free to stop by.
Yeah, I certainly will. I'm going to peruse that handbook as soon as I can.
Okay.
I'll reach out. Thank you.
Yep, I appreciate it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, John, for swinging by and helping us out. We really needed it.
No problem. Nice meeting you.
Mary, I got a couple of questions.
Someone has questions?
Yeah, everybody else can go. I just didn't want Mary to cut me off yet. I just had a question on the form. You just need the form back itself, correct?
Yes.
You don't need any of the other paperwork.
No, just you. Yeah, just the form is fine. I sign it dated at the bottom that the date you're
Right.
signing it, the date the decision was made. Sign them all, and I believe I have all the attachments. I think I have everything that people submitted. So.
All right, then.
Okay.
I will have that. I'll probably put it in the green box outside probably tomorrow, and you should have it for Monday.
Okay, that's great.
Take it from there.
Yep, that's great. Thank you.
And I have a little comic I'm going to put into it that I found, and I think you'll find quite humorous. And there'll be additional copies that to anybody who, when they come in to sign, just because I think it's great.
Okay.
We'll let the suspense happen.
Okay.
Well
All
done.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, we'll see you then.
Yeah, everybody take care.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.